Okay, good afternoon. It is afternoon. Sunday, about 30 degrees. We just got through with a streak of warm weather. It got all the way up to 50 degrees for like a couple days, which was nice. And then yesterday it snowed, so we're right back where we are supposed to be. It's okay because a lot of the ice went away, you know? Gotta love ice. I came out this morning and I had heard something on the radio probably, and it was about faithfulness. And I came out this morning at about 8, a little on the late side for a farmer type. But today's my day to milk, so I was kind of lounging around in the house by the wood stove. Got my cold plunge on this morning, which was really nice. Haven't done that in a while, maybe about a week, or since maybe like the holidays, because it just didn't stay after keeping it open. But today it was open, so me and Jill both got in. Stayed in long enough to where the panic subsided, and got a good cold plunge. But anyway, I came out this morning and I was thinking about this operation, what's going on here. I got somebody rubbing on me here. Okay, you want camera time here? This is Molly. We got her from the Thornburgs about a year ago, and she's the subject of my faithfulness. She's getting ready to have a calf. This is her week. It's on the calendar. Jill keeps track of those things. So her and 2 others are going to have a calf this week. So what happens in my schedule is I have to come out and check on them, because if I'm not out here for a long period of time and it's cold, and cows don't always do what they ought to do. I got a good place for them in the barn, spread out a lot of nice fresh straw, be a good place to go and have a calf. But they may just decide to have a calf outside, and they'll plop it down right in the snow, and which is not always a bad thing, but if it's blowing and they're not attentive to the calf and it stays there too long, like let's say it's a slow getting up calf, you could have problems. I mean, you can have real problems. I actually lost a calf one time that plopped out behind the hay feeder, and then the mom didn't seem to really pay a lot of attention to him, and when I found him, he was a calfsicle. Yeah, so I didn't want that to happen. But anyway, I came out this morning and I felt really good about Molly. She's never had a calf here, so we don't know how that's going to go exactly. But when I came out this morning, I thought, okay, I have done what I'm supposed to do. And what is that exactly? Okay, so last night, Jill's going into bed, and she said, I'm going to go in. And I thought, that sounds pretty good. But then I thought, I got to go check the cows. So it's blowing out. It's snowing pretty good. And I was all snuggled up in my PJs. I didn't want to go outside, but I knew I had to, because I wouldn't sleep good if I'm having pictures in my mind of a calf laying in the snow and I don't check it again till the next day. That's not going to work. So I actually waited a while. I waited till about midnight, and then I came out and checked, because then I knew, well, worst case scenario, if she has it, the second I leave, if I'm out there at 7 o'clock in the morning, that'll be 7 hours the calf is out. That's not probably going to happen. She didn't look like she was going to calf anytime soon. Yesterday she was standing off by herself, which is a good sign. And then when I looked under her tail, she had a little mucus dribble coming out, like a string, like a silly string coming out. So that's telltale sign. And she is kind of bagging up, as we say in the industry. She's bagging up. So her udder kind of gets a little swollen, you know, because her milk's coming in. But because I did that last night, I felt like, okay, I go out this morning with a clear conscience. If I find a dead calf, I did my job. I did what I'm supposed to do. And so I was faithful to this, you know, I was faithful to the farm. And I start thinking about that. And I think, how faithful is the farm to me? Like, as the number one guy here, if something goes wrong, it's my problem. You know, I have to deal with it. So a lot of times, like yesterday, for instance, Frank came out. He was the first one out. Him and Jim were milking. And he came back in and he said, the dogs are gone. Oh, no. And so I have to deal with that. We have 2 dogs. One of them we have 3, but one's a puppy. They're Great Pyrenees. And if you leave them a place to get out, they just go. You know, they just go for a walk. They're fine when they're here. They don't get bored or anything. But they just, as soon as they get outside the fence, they're going. And yesterday, I found them over in Falmouth, which is 6 or 7 miles away, maybe 8 miles away. And they were in Falmouth, in town. And it's kind of embarrassing in a way, because everybody knows whose dogs they are. So I had to go and get them, and I got them back, and I was just mad at them. Like, they're not being faithful to me. But they're just dogs. They don't know. But these animals today, like, look at them. They like to stand down there for some reason. They could be laying in the straw that I just put down. But they're always faithful to me. Always faithful. I mean, we got the milk today. They're healthy. They're being as faithful to me as they can. They're big animals. They're powerful animals. If they want to just run through fences, they could. But they live for this right here, this time of the year. They're definitely seasonal animals, you know, definitely seasonal. This time of the year, all they really care about is food. Let me show you Molly. So that was my thing for this morning. And I started to look at other areas that I think beings here are faithful. This is Molly. When we got her, she wasn't getting herself bred for the other people that owned her. And we had her in, actually she's going to have a Guernsey, because she took to the AI. She was artificially inseminated. And we use Guernsey semen. So she took, and then there's 2 others that took. That red and white one there, she took. And then this one facing me with the white face, that's Stripe. She took too. So this week is their week, which is kind of nice. It's just a good thing to have happen in the... okay. It's a good thing to have happen in the throes of January. January can be a little rough. You know, and then we got February to deal with too. So now that I have this many cows, I've never really kept this many of them before. It's new ground. I hear something squealing. It's new ground for me. I've never kept this many milk cows in my life. We've always done other things, but milking's really worked out good for us. So I had to have housing for them this year, and I was stressing out about that, because if they don't have housing, they just stay out, and it can be kind of tough on them. So what I did, I'll show you. There was just a small opening here for a cow to get in. And the other day, I took a saw and I opened it up big like this. And you might think, well, you don't need it that big, but I really do, because when they're in there, they manure and it builds up quick, and it was way built up. So I spent better part of a day cutting this and then getting in here and opening this all, scraping it out. And then the next day, when we had more warm weather, I scraped it out again. And so this is looking pretty good right now. So they will be in here tonight, and I plan to put some lights up in here. So it's just easier for me if I have to do anything, I can kind of see what's going on. It'd be cool if I had a camera and I could put it up, say, right above the door right there. And then I could be inside and I could just look at my phone, let's say, and say, oh, okay, no calf yet. Everything's good. But I didn't do that. And I'm not done with this project. I have to replace a beam there that was rotted and broke. So I'll probably put a telephone pole across there and one on the side of it to hold it up and make it a lot more structurally good. This barn is way over 100 years old, and this is the year I'm going to start giving it a little bit more TLC just to bring it up to speed, because it's a money maker. Milking is a money maker, and it's a thing that we like to do, so we're going to continue to do it. When I'm where I want to be, I think I'll probably have 14 cows, and so we'll be milking 10 at all times. So I'm ready to do that now because I have the milk parlor and I have the milk house where we can handle all the milk. And we have a pretty good list of people who want raw milk, and they like our raw milk. So as soon as Molly freshens, that's what you call it when they have a calf. As soon as she freshens, that'll be an extra 6 or so gallons a day. She's a good little cow. Even before we stopped milking her, when we could see that she's got a calf in her, she was still giving us 2 gallons a day at the end of her lactation, which is pretty good. So we'll have a lot of extra milk, and then 3 of them, we're going to be taking a couple of them off the rotation that are only given about a gallon a day. We'll be taking them off. So that's what's going on here today. Faithfulness. I was faithful to them. They were faithful to me. I like that. I like it a lot. Remember, anyone can